Dr. Adam Weishaupt was born on February 6, 1748, in Ingolstadt, a city in Bayern, Germany. This interesting character was the son of a rabbi and converted to Catholicism after his father's death. After studying French philosophers such as Voltaire, he learned theology and the mystery religions in the French royal court. World-famous banker Mayer Amschel Rothschild of the Rothschild dynasty chose Weishaupt to create the Coven of Golden Dawn, which is to this day Rothschild's private coven. Amschel Rothschild, for those who are unaware, instigated the American Revolution, America's supposed liberation from Britain. Rothschild instructed Weishaupt to create the Ancient Illuminated Seers of Bavaria. This is better known as the Order of the Illuminati. The name means the bearer of light, the illuminated or enlightened one, which is also another name for Lucifer. The Areopagite, or tribunal, was the inner circle of people in this supreme order, and were the only ones privy to the secret meetings. In Nesta Webster's book, World Revolution, she states, the art of Illuminism lay in enlisting dupes as well as adepts, and by encouraging dreams of honest visionaries or the schemes of fanatics, by flattering the vanity of ambitious egotists, by working on unbalanced brains, or by playing on such passions such as greed and power, to make men of totally divergent aims serve the secret purpose of the sect. People with money were welcomed but kept oblivious to actual secrets. The purpose is to win power and riches, to undermine secular or religious government, and to obtain the masters of the world. The goal of the order was and still is to one day deliver the human race from all other religions and into a single religion. Progression through the political and religious hierarchy was obtained by blackmail in the form of bribing people in power with sex from local prostitutes. In the 16th and 17th century, high-ranking officials in political or religious organizations were liable to be sentenced to death for such acts. In 1780, Baron Franz Friedrich Knigge was also recruited. He was the most instrumental person in the marriage of the Masons and the Illuminati. This allowed the Illuminati to expand rapidly with the use of Masonic lodges. On August 29, 1781, Congress of Wilhelmsbad declared the alliance official. Those in attendance were put under oath never to reveal what took place in that meeting. Comte de Virieu, a Mason from Martinus de Lodge at Lyons, was questioned about the meeting upon his arrival home. He stated, "I can only tell you that all of this is much more serious than you think. The conspiracy which is being woven is so well thought out that it will be, so to speak, impossible for the monarchy and the church to escape it." He later denounced the Illuminati. Sir John Dee. John Dee was a servant to Queen Elizabeth Tudor of the Tudor dynasty. He was the head of the British Secret Service, MI5. He was also known for the practice of black magic and his affiliation with occult rituals. Occult means hidden within conscious realms. If you are unaware of the occult paganism's dominance in the world to this day, pay close attention. Pagan symbols, gods, rituals, and doctrines are the basis for most every religion practiced throughout the world. For example, the symbol of the cross is derived from the vertical masculine line and the horizontal feminine line connecting in tantric union to create motion or vibration. As with all vibration, energy is created and begins to spin the cross, giving us the symbol of the swastika. This is why you see the swastika used in many ancient spiritual or religious images. As said before, pantheistic rituals are prevalent in all monotheistic religions today. Circumcision is a pagan ritual marking males in a ceremonial fashion. Weddings are pagan by nature in the wearing of a ring, which originally symbolized the ring of Saturn. Funerals follow the same pagan-derived ritual when a sacred geometrical tomb is placed over a grave to embody or immortalize the spirit. Baptism is a ritual to submerge a child in holy water to symbolize the renewal of life, just as rain replenishes the earth. One of the meanings of the Holy Grail is the womb and menstrual blood. It also refers to the emptiness of the mind, filled with unlimited life force, the blood of Christ. This ritual was taken over by the patriarchal society. Males could not give life as women do, so to symbolize a male giving life was to draw blood, which could only be done by injury. In ancient Egypt, the goddess Isis was the personification of wisdom. Pharaoh Akhenaten changed the worship to himself as he proclaimed himself Amun-Re, the sun god. The word Amen at the end of a prayer spawned from the praise given to Amun-Re. From there, the Hebrews left Egypt and traveled north into the Middle East, where they encountered the Canaanites, who worshipped the god of Saturn, El. The merging of these three gods became the name of the Holy Land today, which is known as Isis, Re, El, or Israel. 98% of Judaism is based around the worship of Saturn, and the sacred day of worship is Saturday. The worship practiced on Sunday is originated from the Egyptians, who worshipped the sun god. Most people simply pass these things off and never question their origins, but this just scratches the surface of the pagan philosophy still present today. It is not only found in religions, it is right here in our very own backyard. On January 22, 1783, Congress ratified a contract stating that all bills of credit emitted, monies borrowed, and debts contracted by or under the authority of Congress before the assembling of the United States shall be deemed and considered a charge against the United States for payment and satisfaction whereof the United States and the public faith are hereby solemnly pledged. The party that the U.S. owed these loans to was King George. I hope this helps paint a picture for you of how Great Britain funded both sides of the Revolution. To this day, Great Britain still collects taxes from the United States via the IRS. The IRS isn't even an agency of the United States government. It is an agency of the IMF, which is under the jurisdiction of the United Nations. The FCC, CIA, FBI, and NASA were never part of the United States government. The U.S. government only holds shares of stock in the various agencies. John Brown was a Mason and a Rosicrucian who was brought to power by William Lloyd Garrison and Senator Charles Sumner. With the help of the New York Times, John Brown was built up to be a hero in the anti-slavery movement. Ulysses S. Grant, former president, was born Hiram S. Grant, named after Hiram Abiff, who was the most important historical or mythological character in Freemasonry. The name was given to him by his father, Master Mason Jesse Root Grant. Jesse Grant worked for John Brown's father, then went on to work for E.A. Collins, one of the 13 Illuminati bloodlines according to Fritz Springmeier's research. Ulysses S. Grant was brought to power rapidly with the help of E.A. Collins. From April 1861 to May 1864, Grant went from the rank of private to commander-in-chief of the entire Union Army. Once Grant was appointed president, his cabinet consisted of 8 Freemasons, including Alphonso Taft, William Taft's father, who was also the ancestor of Bill Clinton, Jonas Mills Bundy, also one of the supposed Illuminati bloodlines, who was presidential advisor to Grant as well as the next 2 presidents, and a cabinet member, Columbus Delano, who was Franklin Delano Roosevelt's grandfather. November 21, 1933, President Franklin Roosevelt wrote, "The real truth of the matter is, as you and I know, that a financial element in the large centers has owned the government ever since the days of Andrew Jackson.